our audience, Ukrainian youth, have some questions.
Yeah, please.
But the first the first question I wanted to ask you: Have you ever been to Ukraine?
No, I have not been to Ukraine. I have been to Europe, but I have been studying a lot about East Europe.
But do you want to come someday here?
Whenever you will invite, I will come for sure.
Okay, so if someone has questions,
Yeah.
yeah, I see you. I'll come with a microphone to you. Okay, we have two microphones.
Yes, hello, Nas. Thank you for your lecture. I want to ask you two questions, if it's possible. So first one, that all world knows that India had recently, for the past recent decades, impressive economic growth. And I want to ask you, especially in certain states of India, I want to ask you how it impacts political education level and activity of citizens.
See, once you are having a good economy, it affects the overall life of the citizens. I am seeing once the government of India, let it be the union government of India or let it be the state government, they are now focused upon three sectors rather. One is infrastructure development, another is educational institutions development, and third is the health education development. So when the economy is booming, it definitely raises the standard of living, also raises the standard of education and health of the people. And today only a data came that in the second quarter, India is having 7.8% of GDP growth, which is highest in the world right now. So we are fortunate that our leadership is working in that regards in a proper direction, and the country is moving forward. And India is a self-sufficient country in many ways. And one reason behind that is India has always been a non-aligned country. And I say that globalization has raised the standard of living of the world. But India was never in the classical terms the part of that kind of globalization. So now when this globalization, the US-led globalization is shrinking and deglobalization is going on, India is not affected with that.
Answer. And we have another question, so I'll pass the microphone.
Hi. Many thanks to your lecture. I wanted to ask you what one and only advice you can give to Ukrainian society based on your experience, based on Indian past, based on experience of your country. What one and only advice you can give us to success, to our way to success, based on your experience derived from path of Indian society and Indian country. Thank you. Many thanks.
India was ruled for almost 200 years by Britishers, and we gained our independence in 1947. And during that, in 1947 only, India got divided into two parts. Two other countries were formed, India and Pakistan were formed. And after that, in 1948, we had a war with Pakistan. Then in 1962, we had a war with China. Then in 65, we had a war again with Pakistan. Then in 71, again a war. Then in 99, again a war. So India had so many wars. India had partition. India was colonized by Britishers, and it was like it was the biggest loot of the human history. All the wealth of India was drained and sponged by Britishers to London. Anyways, but what Indians did, we never gave up on our democratic movement. Whichever party, a right-wing party, a left-wing party, centrist party was there, the transition, the transition of power from one party to another party always went very smooth, and it never occurred with violence on the streets. Even In United States, we saw last time that there were riots, there was violence when Donald Trump lost his election. But fortunately, in India, it never happened. So democratic ethos of India are very stable. The democratic foundation is very stable. And I think you guys should also work on those principles. And India is having so many languages. India is having so many religions. You guys also have different languages, different ethnicities, and that should not become your weakness. Try to make it your strength. Then only you will be able to progress.
Thank you.
Добрый день. Хотел бы узнать у вас, что может стать основными точками соприкосновения в индийско-украинских отношениях? И второй вопрос, почему Индия не осудила российского вторжения в Украину, хотя, руководствуясь своим экономическим прагматизмом, она могла это сделать подобно Турции? Спасибо.
Can you translate?
Okay, yeah, I will translate it for you. The first question is, what points to cooperation between Ukraine and India we can find? Like, what we can start doing between us to make our relationships more warm and to extend our partnership.
Well, both countries are heavily dependent upon two things. Number one is agriculture, and number two is military hardware. And with war, you also have a silver lining, because the eastern part from where most of the agriculture products were coming, it's now ruined. So now you have an opportunity to develop your agriculture in the western part of your country. Similarly, new innovations in the military hardware companies, industrial complex, you can develop, and we can do it together. We also share a lot of agriculture technology. We can share it with you. We can take it from you. We are also manufacturing weapon industry. We are also developing it here in our country with new innovation. Together we can do that stuff as well. And India is always supporter of anybody who is in stress. So when Ukrainians are having a stress war, India is standing with them in terms of humanitarian aid.
Do we have? Yeah. Okay. Great.
I'm very much obliged to you for your speech.
Thank you so much.
I have one question. As we know, a leader is not born, which is made. He's made. And in your opinion, how can we improve our skills to become real leader, especially in the field of politics?
See, especially in the field of politics, be truthful to your voter, be truthful to your party, and you should consider your party and your colleagues like your family. You should lead from the front in times of crisis. And we are very fortunate that our Prime Minister, he was a tea seller on a train station. And from there, from a very humble background, from there, he raised to such a great stature. We also have an example of Gandhi. Gandhi, he was a very common man. He studied law. He went to South Africa. There he saw that there was discrimination, racial discrimination between whites and blacks, and he started non-violent protests. When he came back to India, here also against the Britishers, he never went in a violent way. All his protests were 100% non-violent. So democracy flourish when the democratic parties, democratic leaders, they are non-violent, they are determined, they lead from the front, and they are truthful and honest.
Thank you very much. Are there any more questions? Okay, yeah, great. Okay.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me? So it is indeed, it is a big honor for us that Indian politician is interested in Ukrainian war, and just that you are a participant of our discussion. So I would like to make a small introduction. So it is known that war in Ukraine influenced not only European continent, and this cruel Russian invasion influenced Asian region as well. And I truly believe in 100% that we really can extend our partnership between India and Ukraine. And in 100%, I think that Ukraine can help India to overcome their food challenges and lack of food shortages. What actions do you see from the Indian side in the path to Ukrainian victory and just to help Ukraine?
Well, let me make one thing very clear. India is a food surplus country. Like Ukraine, India is one of the food surplus country which exports both rice as well as wheat. But as far as Ukraine-India friendship is concerned, definitely India is in favor of peace. We want that this war should end, and any platform and any opportunity which India gets, we will always be ready to provide a platform to both the warring parties to sit together and discuss. And my personal opinion is that the war will only end when both the parties will talk directly, no indirect talk. Both Russia and Ukraine must talk. You both are the Slav people, and you must talk one to one, and then only the conflict will cease.
Thank you. Yeah, and I guess the last question for now, or someone else has.
I have 5 minutes more.
Okay, I will stick to it. Thank you again. My question is, in Ukrainian society, I've heard several times discussions about the rise of legal, but anyways, private military companies after the war. What do you think, what's your opinion about it from ethical, moral point and from economical point?
See, any private military company, let it be the Wagner Group of Russia, or let it be the Black Waters of United States led by Eric Philippe or Eric Prince, they are all immoral. And why they are immoral? Because all these countries, let it be even France is using them, even Great Britain uses them, Russia also uses them, US has used them a lot in Iraq and in Afghanistan. So they use these people and these private military players and private military companies because they don't want to do moral things. They want to abuse the human rights, and they don't want to fall themselves, their country, to law. They don't want to answer to the law, so they use these people, and these people are not the organized military. They are not professional military personnel, and they commit a lot of human rights abuse. We have seen by Wagner, we have seen by Blackwater, and all of them. They are basically nothing but warlords. I always say one thing: what is the difference between the head of Blackwaters, the head of the former head, or because of Wagner Group, late Prigozhin, or somebody like Abdul Rashid Dostum of Afghanistan? They all are nothing but warlords. And this culture of using the warlord should stop.
Yeah, it was the last question. Thank you very much for interesting lecture. It was really great for us. It was really interesting. Let's applause, I guess.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we know that you have a next very important meeting, so we don't want to delay you. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye and love from India.
Bye-bye and love from Ukraine. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.